Madam CJ, we I'll cede ground to the head, who was the former head of the bar, Attorney General, okay. Emeritus.
Okay.
Madam Chief Justice, members of the court.
My Lady Chief Justice, I have an objection to I have an objection to my learned senior's application, which he indicated earlier. My lady, we will of course be guided by your directions, but I rise to oppose the application by my learned senior, Mr. Gitu Muigai, to present evidence to controvert the submission by Julie Soweto. My Lord, my lady, the indication was that they'd been taken by surprise and should get a chance to present their view. They were not taken by surprise and can't be taken by surprise because
My lady, if I may, this is a very awkward moment for me to interrupt the teacher who taught me procedure. I thought that one could only respond to an application that has been made, not before it is made.
of course it has to be made before. The objection has to be made before.
Can I make the application now?
No, there's no point to it. He had indicated he was holding the application so that it has been indicated. So my objection is, and his own ground, that he needs to be replying to something that he had never known. That picture was taken from the portal of the IBC. So he's not taken by surprise because it's their own picture on their own portal, and it's still there now as we talk, as we object. But secondly, this is the first time in many years that I've ever seen a party asking to rebut their own evidence. And that is an oxymoron that reflects accurately the state of their records. But I stand guided and would gladly withdraw my objection if the court wishes.
I think where we are coming from, Senior Counsel, our teacher, Mr. Firoz Noronji, is that when the two forms were displayed, they wanted to respond because they said it's new evidence. And you saw the bench resisted to begin with, but we went to the records to find out whether it is among the forms that were submitted here, especially in the affidavits of Dr. Celestine, Mr. Arnold, and we found actually it is new evidence. That's why we allowed them. It is not an objection. It's a clarification because they said this is new evidence that they had not seen before. It is in that context.
Much obliged.
Yes, yes. So 5 minutes.
All is well that ends well. Mr. Mahat will give the explanation. Thank you very much, my lady.
Your Ladyship, Madam Chief Justice, Deputy Chief Justice, and Associate Justice of Supreme Court, I wish to respond to 3 very quick issues that were raised by my learned colleague, Ms. Julie Soweto. The first one relates to a form that was shown this court. I will want the form to be projected. We will. Whatever that was projected from the portal, that is what we want the court to see. What Ms. Julie Soweto showed. You could go, please go to Jose Camargo. I want to produce to the court the original form 34A. Yes, you can see. It's okay. I want to produce the form 34A, the original form 34A, and I want to inform the court that the name Jose Camargo on that form is an overlay. Jose Camargo, the register of the QR code, that was printed by Smartmatic International, and it was printed in the name of Jose Camargo. You can show? The register is available.
We were very patient the way Mr. Mohammed addressed the court earlier. Very, very persuasive. But for good order and not to interfere with his submissions, we kept quiet. And if you look back at the record, a lot of what Mr. Mohammed was saying was actually giving evidence. He was talking using the word we. This is how we do it. The trajectory which he is taking, without a witness to tell us the kind of information he's going to give us, is going to put the court in a very difficult position. I think he should transform himself to a witness, and we begin to cross-examine him. Because, and this is very serious, either we practice law the way we understand the law, or anybody can confront the court with any document at any time. I understood Mrs. Soweto to be giving an explanation in response to a question by the court. And similarly, Mr. Mohammed was responding to question by the court. And therefore, he had some latitude. But now we are entering a different universe where he is now going to produce evidence. He is saying how the picture was taken. There is no certificate, and this is electronic evidence accompanied by an original. I think it is very, very dangerous territory. And unless some clarity is given on this matter, it is going to be very difficult to operate from now.
My lords, what we are trying to do is to show you documents in our own affidavits in response to documents produced from the bar. Ms. Soweto never produced the document she showed you in any of her affidavits. When we now invite you to look at the original and to make the argument that my learned friend is about to make, that there is a deliberate misrepresentation of what the original document looked like. So we are treated to this attempt to block that fact from the court. This is not a legitimate objection. This is an attempt to interfere with legitimate evidence that is on record.
Let's give it directions, because we'll be here until tomorrow and we don't have this time. Senior Counsel.
Just one point. And I'm normally very quiet, and I continue to be very quiet. But the good professor has misunderstood Ms. Soweto completely. It is not this document which is in question. It's the way the interference is being done. How this document is changed to another document twice or three times. I think the good professor will be doing a good service to the court. And if he is good coming to court with clean hands, he should first of all say, Mrs. Soweto, what Mrs. Soweto showed us today is not in their portal. That is the starting point.
Isn't that exactly
Yeah,
what we
that is the
Please,
starting point.
Bear with us, Senior Counsel. We've come thus far with a lot of discipline and dignity and respect to the court. The reason why we are here, and you saw has taken a lot of time to reflect on the application that was made by, I think it started with Mr. Katwa Keegan, Mr. Kirago, and Mr. Ngatia. We resisted until we established from the pleadings that we have that these are new forms. And indeed, they are entitled to respond to them. So please, if you can just respond without taking us into anything else, just respond to those new forms because they were not part of the ones that we have before us. We established that.
Thank you so much, Madam Chief Justice and members of the court. The